break it down. We have the AFC South quarterbacks, the pilot, leading the plane, man on a mission. And so what that's going to look like is that's going to be, just like we said, Danny Dimes is more than likely going to be in charge of that offense to start. It's not looking like Anthony Richardson. Actually, he's searching around for trade offers, is what I recently got. And so we got Danny Dimes. We've got CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, and kind of the individual who took over at the end of last year, Cam Ward, who first overall draft pick last year. Rough start, started to come on a little more at the end. So, all right. So if I had to ask you to rank them to start, how would you put them? Let's go, Cooper. Start us off.
Well, I mean, we got a lot of solid quarterbacks here, but I think there's one guy who is the most consistent, I would say, and most proven of all four, and I would have to go with my number one as Trevor Lawrence. It's kind of tough because obviously with Cam Ward, you saw the flashes last year. CJ Stroud has had great moments, but I mean, he's also had some pretty rough ones. And then Daniel Jones, it's just a matter of if he can get healthy and stay healthy. And I think then he'll be good, but even then, he's number two to Trevor Lawrence in my book.
Yeah. Okay. Giovanni?
I definitely agree with Cooper.
Okay. So T. Lawrence, and you said CJ Stroud next? Both of you?
I don't know. I was between CJ Stroud or Daniel Jones. Sounds crazy, but I was between those two.
If you were to ask me 1 year ago today, Daniel Jones would not be at the top of the list. In fact, true. I don't even know if we'd have him up there because there was such a
stigma,
a controversy. Well, they didn't know who was going to be the starter going into the beginning of the season. So, my only hang up here for this one specifically is, and I agree with you completely, wholeheartedly. I think that Trevor Lawrence is number one. And my only hang up with that is number of playoff victories. And off the top of my head, I can't, you got to ask Google when you can't think of off the top of your head. Who has more playoff wins?
More playoff wins. I think that's Stroud.
Trevor Lawrence.
One, I guess.
Or CJ Stroud.
I think it's Stroud because he got 2 playoff wins.
He does have 2. I know he has 2 playoff wins, but I cannot for the life of me. Okay, so Trevor has 1. And so this is going to be our hang up. And I do feel bad for CJ Stroud, who, by the way, looked like an absolute freshman in high school going into day 1 of training camp. I don't know if you guys caught those pictures or not. He just looked clean cut, got a haircut, didn't have the dreadlocks, and
wasn't he wearing? He was just wearing like just a plain white tee,
baggy white tee, and he looked like a high schooler, to be honest with you. I think he trimmed his goatee.
He's
stuff
going
like
the humble route. He's
quiet,
trying to play it down.
I think the biggest thing with CJ Stroud over the last 2 years. Now his rookie year was absolutely amazing. Sophomore and junior slump for the most part. He did have a team that went to the playoffs, but it wasn't because of their offense. Their offense was actually kind of pretty stagnant, to say the least. So, but here's where I'll defend CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud has had crazy number of injuries on that offense.
Yeah.
He's had multiple wide receivers go down and out. Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Joe Mixon last year. Just he could not get any help on offense. And not only that, but he is behind one of the worst O-lines in the league, or at least was. Let's put it that way. And it just hasn't done anything for him. He's had to play outside of his comfort zone and hasn't really done great, but good enough to get them to the playoffs. So I could see, this year being completely different. I could see the Texans being better than the Jaguars. And who knows, at the end of this, we could look at it differently as well. But yeah, I struggle with CJ Stroud only because he hasn't had much of a shot. But I will agree. Trevor Lawrence is a more seasoned, in a sense of he brings more to the table. I think in the league that we have, he has some good weapons right now, and he is a pocket passer. He can scramble. He's pretty quick, and he's very intelligent. So I will agree with you there with Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud. And then Cam Ward definitely has the potential, but we saw some glimmers of hope from Daniel Jones last year before his Achilles injury. And if that tells you anything, it should tell you that the Minnesota Vikings are really bad at identifying quarterback talent.
Yeah.
Let's just say that, because you have Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold come out of Minnesota 2 years ago and arguably for the first half of the season be the two best quarterbacks in football.
Yeah.
So,
that's
I mean,
Vikings fans.
and now they have
9
two quarterbacks that are, it's JJ McCarthy and Kyler Murray, who knows?
Murray.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that here. Well, we already went over that one, but yeah, it's just Anyway, how do you guys feel about those 4 spots?
That's understandable.
Understandable.
Lawrence. That's understandable. Trevor Lawrence, best quarterback. Cam was still potential. I would agree.
Yeah, I think it's tough just because of how injured all of these quarterbacks have been, especially CJ Stroud. I mean, that's like one of those big ifs that like we talk about so much. Where like, well, if he gets healthy, then he'll be number 2. But if he's not, then you might see those positions fluctuate a little bit. But I think that's pretty accurate and into how I think the season will play out.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. Let me zoom in here a little bit for you guys. Sorry, that was so zoomed out. All right. Okay. So that brings us to strike force, running back, right? Okay. So 2026, here's our running backs in the AFC South. Because it did change a little bit. Cooper knows firsthand about this. We do have Jonathan Taylor, who, again, was arguably one of the best running backs in the league last year and the year before, had an amazing rookie year as well. So he has proven that he is a reoccurring thing. He's probably going to be playing for a contract here. And we saw what that looks like for our good friends, Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they got paid this week.
Yep, they did. Well deserved.
All right. So we also have Bajul Tootin, David Montgomery, and Tony Pollard. I'm gonna have to point out the obvious here so that we can save some time. Jonathan Taylor's the number 1 running back in this division.
Easy.
Hands down. Easy. I mean, that one's an easy place. But then I'd have to go with Tony Pollard's nothing to sleep on. He had some pretty good years there after Ezekiel Elliott left Dallas that he played pretty well. So well, in fact, that he got a contract from the Titans and has been the starting running back with the Titans for the last couple of years. So, however, David Montgomery has played pretty well in his career as well. If you do recall the NFC North Lions, he was the knuckles to Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Sonic. So this is a close one, and this is kind of a toss up here, but younger team. Personally, I'll take the forefront on this pick here since you guys did the other ones, the quarterback ones. But personally, I think that Tony Pollard is going to struggle a little bit more than David Montgomery. And so I think that they're both strong, fast runners and they'll both get production, but I personally think that David Montgomery is going to be better. What do you guys think in that second spot?
I would definitely agree with you. David Montgomery, he was a great player for the Lions, and then he got traded. But I would definitely agree with you to put Montgomery at the second spot.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's tough just because the way Montgomery thrived was as a partner to another. I mean, and granted, he is with Woody Marks, who is still a good running back, but it's not going to be as balanced of a 1-2 punch. Where when you have Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, two high level like starters on any team,
Yeah.
they're just back and forth and back and forth. Now I think he will be carrying a bit of a heavier load, but I still think that he is strong enough to be able to do that. And I would have to agree with you.
Yeah. And I will say this, only because we haven't talked a lot about this individual. But Bajul Tootin, he was behind. I'm saying his name wrong because he recently came out and said how to say his name. I know I'm going to mess it up. I think it's HN, but it's ETN, right?
Yeah.
Did you guys see that interview where he said people have been saying my name wrong, but I've never corrected them?
Yeah, everyone says what ETN, but
It's ETN. Yeah. It's spelled ETN, but he's from the Bayou. I mean, he went back down to play with the Saints, and so it's got kind of the Creole or Louisiana slang to it, and so it is Etienne, not ETN. So anyway, Tootin was behind Etienne Aiden last year. Didn't get a lot of touches, only had 300 yards rushing. But the Jaguars do run kind of this swing offense where a lot of checkdowns. ETN got a lot of checkdowns last year. And I think that's why a lot of, like, I'm looking at ESPN right now, and he's ranked pretty high. In fact, he might be ranked higher than David Montgomery and Tony Pollard. But I don't think that's necessarily, I think that's a system grade. Like, he's going to get a lot of touches, whereas I have to put David Montgomery at that second spot. So if you guys don't disagree with me there,
I agree with you.
I'm going to put David Montgomery at that second spot.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Okay. And I think that, I mean, Tony Pollard, he's had good years, but he's getting up there in years as well. So I don't know. Where do you guys feel? How do you feel about Tootin? Just hasn't proven anything yet. That's my biggest thing with this, is that he hasn't had a chance to. This is a sophomore season, but at the same time, might prove something. I don't know. It's hard for me to decide on this one per se.
I would put Pollard at the 3 spot just to be safe.
Okay. He does have the career stats. The last 4 years he's been 1,000-yard rusher. So
yeah, I think I would be
a safety pick.
Yeah, I would be comfortable either. Like, I would be okay with this one going either way. But yeah, Tony Pollard, he's got the consistency, but that also means that he's got some years on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
I think consistency is big for sure. I mean, you know what you're getting. You're going to get a good you're going to get a good product there. I don't think that it's a bad product per se, but it's not great. It's just good. So I think that's why he falls in that third spot there. He's good, period. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we have some people in the chat saying Tony is good, and I agree with that. So, all right, here we go. Wide receiver 1.
I think this is going to be tough.
1. Okay. Let's go through those real quick. We've got Alec Pierce at wide receiver 1. The Jags have Parker Washington. If you want to throw Brian Thomas in there, is probably pretty close. That's the thing with the Jags is they have 4 wide receivers.
And they're
Well,
all good.
3 really.
Well,
they're
3.5.
all decent.
We'll go 3.5.
You know who they remind me of is kind of like the Browns. The Browns aren't. Don't get me wrong. The Browns are not proven, but they have all these good wide receivers.
Right.
But none of, like it could go either way. No dominant wide receivers. No, somebody's doubling this guy, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Texans have Nico Collins at their number 1, and the Titans have a new toy in Carnell Tate. Their, I believe, was it number 2 overall draft pick?
No, I think
3?
It was 4th, maybe 3.
Well, either way, man.
That's worth a Google.
Titans got some depth at wide receiver as well. Carnell Tate, Wandale Robinson, and Calvin Ridley. I mean,
they do. And if you remember, Calvin Ridley was highly touted for years and until got into some trouble and some injuries. And their wide receiver room is good. Yeah. Good. And to be honest with you, Gunnar Helm isn't a bad tight end either. So they have weapons. They now have weapons on offense. If they can keep Cam Ward upright and stop some people on defense, then they might surprise some people. They're not going to be a pushover quite like they were last year. I still don't think that they're playoff material or even top of the division material, but they're not going to be a cakewalk. But anyway, let's get back to wide receiver 1 here. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, Nico Collins is a force. And that's who I would have at that number 1 spot. What do you guys think?
I definitely agree with you just because Nico Collins has been an outstanding wide receiver for the Texans for the past 2 years. So I would definitely agree with you at the number 1 spot. Yeah.
I mean, barring injury, right? Barring injury, Nico Collins is good. Really, really good. He's a strong weapon, especially with CJ Stroud and his mobility / arm. So I'd be interested to see, what their wide receiver room is pretty good too. Jaden Higgins and Tank Dell are pretty good as well. So, I mean, we'll see. Okay. Number 2 wide receiver. This is going to be Cooper. You might have to take this one over because my bias as an Ohio State fan might take over here, and I'm gonna want to put Carnell Tate at number 2. And I don't know if that was our reasoning behind Tootin. He hasn't proven himself, but he's a dog. I mean, I watched him play for the last 3 years, and he's that good. He's that guy too.
I was between Tate and Alec Pierce.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know, man. That's a really hard one.
Yeah. Really hard. I agree. Somebody's going to be upset when we make this.
Yeah.
Based on that.
We might get clickbait.
We'll see. Yeah. All right. I'm going my bias. I'll eat the comments, but I've been watching the highlights of training camp, and being an Ohio State fan, Carnell Tate will pop up, and he's just running so smooth, and his routes are crisp, and he's catching balls. And I mean, I'm sure those other guys are too, but he just looks like he is NFL ready. And I mean, you got to think I know they're tearing Marvin Harrison apart, but look at what has come out of Ohio State in the wide receiver room for the last 7-8 years now. I mean,
This is crazy.
I mean, you can go back to Chris Olave, you can go back to Michael Thomas. I mean, it's just been unreal. So I got to give Carnell Tate and the Ohio State wide receiver room, wide receiver some love there. That might be what I get the hate from is the Ohio State. Too much Ohio State love there.
It's okay.
Okay. And then next, I agree with Cooper. I agree with you. I think Alec Pierce he could be that guy on any other team. I think that he is that good. And then, so that leaves us with either Parker Washington or Brian Thomas Jr. And I know they've had some problems with Brian Thomas Jr. He was a big name in the trade market last year. or this off season, and they didn't move him. A lot of teams were looking to grab him, and nobody really went after him. So he's a good player. He's a good ball player, but he didn't move. So, and then I know Travis Hunter is out there, but being a two-way player, that's taxing on the body. It'd be interesting to see how much he actually plays or at what level he's actually able to play. He put on some weight. Did you guys see that? He's got a little muscle.
Yeah, he was looking beefy.
Got a little muscle mass on him. So that'll be good.
That's what you need, man.
Yeah.
He was a little skinny little twig before. But
Gotta get the Bo Jackson level.
The two-way player.
Yeah,
a little Deion Sanders.
Yeah.
All right, wingman number 2.
Anyway, all right.
So Texans, you got Jaden Higgins, who had a great year last year with both those guys down. You got with the Titans, you got Wan'Dale Robinson, who again, stud. Okay, he was their stud last year, so he knows what wide receiver 1 duties are and can go do them. And now he has some help. With the Colts, you got Josh Pierce. I'm sorry, not Josh Pierce. Josh Downs.
Alec Pierce. Oh, Josh Downs.
And then what we've been talking about with the Jags with Brian Thomas.
Okay.
So I think this is where it comes in, like our debate from the last one is, Brian Thomas is a good wide receiver. He could be a wide receiver 1 on several teams across this league. I look at teams like even like San Francisco, who's, Ricky Pearsall's hurt now, and the Browns, he'd probably be a wide receiver 1 there.
Dolphins.
There's a lot of
you could take up the starter or the second string of any team, and they would be a starter on the Dolphins.
That's true.
Obviously not actually. I'm sorry, Devon Achane, for disrespecting you like that, but
yeah,
Maybe Brian Thomas might be a big piece on the Chiefs. Maybe.
Yeah. Who else? Raiders.
Jets.
Better than Garrett Wilson.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't know about that. That was a good. I mean, typically, yes, you would say the Jets, but who else? Yeah, Dolphins for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe the Steelers. Just depending on how Pittman plays and how Metcalf plays.
Yeah.
Just depends.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would say Brian Thomas is a safe pick there. I would say that's pretty safe. But after that, now comes a tough one between Josh Downs and Wan'Dale Robinson. What are your thoughts on that? If you had to leave it up between those two.
Well, it's kind of tough here just because Wan'Dale Robinson was a beast last year with the Giants, and Josh Downs was a good player for Daniel Jones until Jones got hurt and Downs didn't do anything of either Riley Leonard or Phillip Rivers. So in my safe side, I would put Wan'Dale Robinson in second.
Yeah, it's tough because both of those guys were super key pieces to both of their teams. Like, talk about Wan'Dale with the Giants being able to back up Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors is fantastic, but without Wan'Dale, Malik wouldn't have been able to have as many opportunities. And same with Josh Downs and Alec Pierce. Obviously, the driving force of the offense was Jonathan Taylor, but those two were also like super key to the way that offense ran. But I would agree. I'd give Wan'Dale the edge there.
Okay.
And then put Josh Downs in the 3.
Okay.
There you go.
There we go. Okay.
So that leaves Jaden Higgins.
Jaden Higgins 4th.
/ Tank Dell, honestly.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Even though Tank Dell didn't play.
Tank Dell, he hasn't played for a year and a half. And he was that guy. He was just as good as a lot of these number 1s, but his knee absolutely got.
That injury was so bad.
It was disgusting. It was. Yeah. I felt so bad. I felt so bad for him. I felt bad for the whole organization because
Yeah.
like they were pouring their heart and soul into that season, and then just like
Yeah.
tough way to go.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does play again. Hopefully this year he does come out strong.
Recently,
Okay.
he was just cleared for training camp.
Good. I mean, I want to see it. I want to see the Texans do good again. Buckeye, CJ Stroud, that kind of stuff. So,
Yeah.
all right. The other wingman taking some pressure off that wide receiver one is the tight end room. And I think that one person does stand out because of how good he was in college and how good he played his rookie year, and that's Tyler Warren. I think that T. Warren definitely
From
kind of goes way over those other three, but then that leaves us though with Brenton Strange from Jacksonville, Dalton Schultz for the Texans, and Gunnar Helm for the Titans.
This is where it gets a little dicey.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, if you want to just go based off of like, and this is not a fantasy football thing. This is just dudes being dudes. Like, I'm not worried about numbers. I'm worried about who shows up on game day, that kind of stuff. And I know that kind of plays into the fantasy football aspect, but at the same time, right now, what I'm looking at here is, according to tight end rankings, Brenton Strange is ranked ahead of Dalton Schultz, then Gunnar Helm. And so I'm okay with going with that, because when I say ranked ahead of, I mean like those are the next three tight ends. None of them are great tight ends. I'm sure they're great blocking tight ends because of the offense and how they run their offense, but they are not true receiving tight end. Tyler Warren would be the only true receiving tight end. And when it comes to production, as far as offense, that's what we're looking at is getting receptions and getting down the field and catching touchdowns. So if you guys are okay, I would go just like how ESPN has them ranked, or how some of the other national corporations have them ranked.
I would agree with you.
Dalton Schultz is getting up there in years. And Gunnar Helm is a little young, and they didn't use him very much. But when you look at the Titans, like we were saying before, you look at the Titans wide receiver room, Gunnar Helm is going to be used more in pass blocking and run blocking, rather than being that fourth wide receiver to go out. So thoughts?
Yep. This is an understandable tier for the tight ends.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Move this down a little bit. Okay. If you agree with that, then
I agree.
We'll move it back over.
You agree, Coop?
Yeah, it's tough just because, like, when you look at the depth chart, like, most teams' tight ends are, like, the guys who most people know the least. There's, like, 5 tight ends that, like, most NFL fans would know, and then when you get kind of, and no offense over here to the AFC South, but, like, I don't even think the average fan would know most of these guys, and so that's where I think I kind of struggle sometimes. It's just like these aren't guys that are popping into my head when I'm thinking of defense rankings, but
right,
or tight end rankings.
I know you're probably watching me mess with them.
So good.
Yeah.
They're really good.
I figured this one would be pretty easy as well. Pretty standard. Yeah. The Texans defense is a juggernaut, and I mean took them to the playoffs. Bounced the Steelers from the playoffs and almost got them another win over the Patriots, and a Super Bowl competitor Patriots, but couldn't quite finish the job. CJ Stroud not having his weapons around him, not having the O-line, and so I think that this one's pretty easy to place. The Titans, what they're lacking the most is a defense. You saw that their offense is average, good enough to win games as long as they're on the field. But when the defense can't slow anybody down, it's tough to score points. So,
yeah, and I would agree. I mean, obviously Texas defense, like, elite. No other words
Yeah.
to describe him. Just elite.
Yep.
But then, I mean, Jags and Colts. Those are some pretty solid groups. Like there, Jags got Josh Allen, or not
Not
Josh
Josh
Allen, Josh
Allen.
Allen, but Josh Hines Allen.
There you
Mhm.
go.
And then the Colts have like DeForest Buckner and some other good guys. And I know that the Titans, like you said, kind of been struggling as of recently. But I think it's pretty straightforward, the rankings here, defense wise.
I definitely agree with that.
Good. Okay. Well, that brings us to coaching. And so here's who we got. We got D'Amico Ryans with the Texans. We have a new coach to the AFC South, and that's Robert Saleh. Not a new coach to NFL,
Titans.
but a new
Yeah.
coach to the Titans. We got the Colts is Shane Steichen, and
Liam
the
Cohen. With
Jacksonville
Jags.
Jaguars, Liam Cohen. Duval.
Duval.
Yeah, so he took some heat for that in the interview,
Yeah.
but it's pretty funny, and I think he
yeah.
laughs about it now too. All right, so
Yeah.
here's what I'm thinking. I think that looking across Robert Saleh, and I'll speak first to Robert Saleh. He was on a bad team, and that bad team played worse.
Yeah.
I'm not going to
I
100% blame him for what happened with the Jets, because he went to San Francisco last year and did a really good job with that defense, and then turned around and got a head coaching job. So they must see something in him that makes him capable. But with that being said, he's the losingest coach on this list.
Yeah.
He has not proven really anything as far as head coaching goes. Do I think he's a bad coach? No. I think he coached a very bad team when he did get his shot. Doesn't make him a bad coach. He just hasn't won a lot of games. So he's still looking for that identity piece.
And I think the losses were not entirely his fault.
No. Some interesting quarterbacks that came out of there.
Yeah.
Wilson, Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
I mean, he had Sam Darnold.
Yeah. For the
Super Bowl MVP.
For the shortest time.
Yeah.
That's
So,
where
but he was
man.
seeing ghosts out there.
Yeah, have you seen that? It's like a famous meme of Sam Darnold. At one time, he was out for a game because he was sick, and they posted this terrible graphic. It's the Sam Darnold out for mononucleosis.
I saw that. I really saw
so
that.
bad.
Yeah, that was a ER blunder. Absolutely,
just an interesting time there for Sam Darnold fans and Jets fans.
Jets fans, yeah. I don't think he ever really got a fan base until he made it to the Vikings, where he won some games with the Vikings.
And even with the Seahawks.
And now with the Seahawks, now he has support, and I think absolutely revived his career.
Yeah.
So, like 100%. Could play in the league for another 10 years after that, hands down. Okay, so that puts us with the next two.
Okay.
Or next three. Now, in my opinion, what D'Amico Ryans has done with that defense, and then also getting playoff wins, I like Liam Cohen. I think that he's good. I think that he'll be good. I think that he took over a bad team from Urban Meyer and made it a playoff team. You know what I mean? Like, you're taking over a team that was a laughingstock of the NFL, and in 2 years, you're making the playoffs, or could have made the playoffs.
Yeah.
They're one or two pieces away from being a really good team. So, I do think that, but I'm going to have to go with D'Amico Ryans.
Number one.
What do you guys think about that?
I definitely agree with you, just because D'Amico got 2 playoff wins in his coaching career, and Liam Cohen didn't even got a playoff win last season as the first time head coach. So I would definitely agree with you for putting D'Amico Ryans at the number 1 spot.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, how long's he been coaching now? What, 2, 3? This is his third.
I think that's his.
He came in with C.J. Stroud.
fourth year
So
now.
Okay. Yeah.
right. And so in that time, he's already won the division multiple times and
Mhm.
turned around a team to. I mean, every year they're almost expected now to be in the playoffs, like the way we're
Sure.
looking at it, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I 100%
Yeah.
agree with you. Like what he has done, as well as C.J. Stroud, just those two coming in at the same time have seriously turned this team around.
Yeah.
And so for
Um.
that, I give him that number one nod.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, and that's where I'm going with next. Liam Cohen, kind of same thing.
Yeah.
I think that he's next, and no knock on Shane Steichen. I think that Shane
Yeah.
Steichen has done some good things. I mean, the
Yeah.
expectation to win those games that he won last year, it wasn't there. I mean, he won
Right.
games he shouldn't have won last year. But I think
Yeah.
that there's still some things that they have to figure out on that team. I think that there's a lot of unclarity as far as the offense and defense, and what everybody's roles are and that kind of stuff. So.
Also, people are calling out Steichen for ruining Anthony Richardson's potential.
You think that was his fault?
I mean, that's what the people are saying.
That's what the people are saying. Do you agree with the people?
I guess not.
No,
Cause
I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. I didn't see a whole lot of potential in Anthony Richardson to begin with. I thought that was a
haven't
silly
either.
pick, in my opinion. I didn't think that was a good pick by them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, tally time. Let's add them up. Okay, I'm going to start with the Texans here. Double check my math, please. Somebody said my math was bad, and that was not true. I did it like 500 times, but so I need
it's
you guys.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah,
it wasn't my
I
fault.
know.
I didn't do anything wrong. Anyway, here we go.
Okay.
We got the Texans. Let me zoom out for you guys a little bit.
Yeah.
So that you can see. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So the Texans, we've got 3, 6. With 4 is 10. With 1 is 11. With 2 is 13. With 8 is 21.
Yep.
I have
And
25.
with the
Bingo.
code, you have 25?
Or
Yep, that's 21. 3, 6.
20. It should be 22.
Oh,
So-
yeah, because of the air defense 2
The
times.
coach. Yeah. Okay. So let me do it one more time real quick for those math people at home.
I'll try that again.
3, 6, 10, 11, 13 plus 8 is 21, and another 1 for coach. is
I added the
22.
one that was in the team column.
Okay, there you go. Yep, don't add that one. That's just our label.
Okay.
So we got that. You see 22 points for the Texans. All right, let's do Titans. We got 1 point, and 2 is 3, and another 3 is 6, and another 3 is 9, 10, 12, 13. I have 13 points there.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Clean that up a little bit there.
The Texans
Okay.
do have 25.
Okay, let me do it again. Texans, 3 for quarterback. Another 3 for running back.
3
That's
plus-
6.
Yep, 3 plus
4 for strike force. So that's 10.
Okay.
1 more for wingman 2 is 11.
Yeah, that's 11.
2 more is
That's
13.
13. Yeah.
8 for air defense.
Okay.
Is 21
That's
plus 4.
21.
plus
That's
4.
25.
You're right.
You were adding 1.
I was only adding 1. You are correct.
Yeah.
See Cooper? See
Yes.
Cooper? There you go.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I was getting ahead of myself and just counting the
Anyway.
1. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
2
Uh,
plus
Colts. 2,
plus 4,
6, 8, 10,
2,
14,
4.
18,
Yep, 18.
20. Colts.
Yeah,
20.
that's right.
Does that compute?
Yeah.
Dost thou compute?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
4. Boom.
All right. And finally, the Jags.
6, boom.
4, 5, 6.
22. 22.
Okay. 4, 5, 6, 10, 13, and 6, 19,
22.
Got it. 22.
There we go.
Got
There
it.
we go. That concludes that.
Okay, this is a tight one, and I think
Yeah,
it went
this
exactly how we thought it was going to go.
I think this is our closest one yet, for sure.
I would agree with you there. I think that, when you look at this, total score in there too. When you look at this is exactly what we thought. We thought it was going to be a close race between the Jaguars and the Texans, and yeah, I think that it was exactly that. I think it's going to end up being very close, and I think that I think the Colts will make it frisky. They might be that frisky team that you don't want to play, but at the same time, yeah. And then the Titans are just going to be clawing. Now, remember, for those that are watching here, this isn't saying that any of these teams are bad. It's just we're trying to determine the best at each position per that division. We've had divisions where the tight ends are, the best in all of football, but, we might rank them fourth in their respective division. Stuff like that. Okay?
Okay.
All right. That concludes our AFC South, where we, the Top Gun Podcast, have graded wise that the Houston Texans should, on paper, win the AFC South. On to the NFC South.
Yeah.
NFC South.
NFC South.
I like that transition sound. That was good.
Yeah, that was you guys know the video of the guy playing Madden, and he's playing as Greg Jennings, and he breaks his leg.
Oh,
And he goes,
put the
let's
team
go
on
into
his
the
back.
let's go into the mind of Greg Jennings.
Nice.
I put the team on my back though. That's
Uh,
oh, man.
You're recalling something from like 2007, Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when I was negative 2 years old.
Yeah,
But
That's right.
that's an antique now.
it's such an iconic video.
Such an
I
iconic
don't know.
video. Yep, absolutely.
That
Okay.
little transition noise just popped into my brain.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I think they were playing the Saints in that game.
Yeah.
But
I
anyway,
think,
so
Here
we got
comes
the NFC
Darren
South.
Sharper. The hardest hitting-
Sergeant Darren Sharper. Yeah.
hardest hitting safety in the
anyways.
league. All right.
Yeah. Sidetrack. Anyway, here we go.
All right.